give me fuel, give me fire, give me that old Chinese desire.
Welcome, Smash Heads. It is finally time. The second half of Week 19 has arrived here in the Car Demolition League, and including today's game day, folks, just 3 more videos left to be made here in the 2026 regular season. The playoffs indeed are right around the corner as we head on to the hard field for the second half of Week 19. The whole first half of the week was actually all done on soft field, and some huge results across the board, shaping playoff picture in both conferences, and really more so in the East, as we saw the Atlanta Avengers actually clinch a playoff spot in our first day feature. But other big results on top of that: the New York Empire taking a tough loss, and the Toronto Titans took full advantage of that, and they actually moved past both Boston and New York in the standings. So pardon me, folks. So Boston now on the outside of the playoffs looking in. So there was that. And then, of course, the San Diego Lightning with their win over Kansas City certainly tightened things up in the Western Conference playoff hunt. And, of course, we are going to get a look at Los Angeles and Chicago in just a little bit today. But we lead things off with 2 different Western Conference teams. One team playing for nothing but team pride at this point, and the other team trying to hunt down a Cobb Award and home field advantage in the playoffs. So let's get a look at these 2 teams. The Phoenix Firebirds, Matt Geiser's squad, ready to take on his nephew's team, Hunter Bradshaw's Denver Mustangs. And of course, 2 teams, different destinies here this season. Phoenix with a record of 7 wins, 10 losses, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. And I believe it's now 3 wins in a row that the Firebirds have put together. Unfortunately for them, the winning streak is just a little too late, right? I mean, they started the season so slow, and even though they are starting to kind of make up some ground now, it's just too late. They've already been eliminated from playoff contention here. So if they could have just started the season stronger, maybe they would still be in the hunt today. But unfortunately for them, they are playing for nothing but team pride and trying to play spoiler against his nephew's team here. Of course, Hunter Bradshaw, tough loss in the first half of Week 19 as Boston Vandals taking the 15-5 loss in the first day feature to the Atlanta Avengers. Of course, the Denver Mustangs, their story's been a little different this year. First place in the Car Demolition League, a record of 15 wins, 2 regulation losses, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. And this team is not too far off from clinching the Cobb Award, which would be basically the CDL's version of the President's Trophy. For anyone that's a hockey fan, an NHL fan, you know the President's Trophy goes out to the team with the best regular season record. Well, in the CDL, it's called the Cobb Award, and the Denver Mustangs ain't too far off from winning that award. Just a 1-point event. Matter of fact, let's go on ahead and put the Cobb Award standings up there. We don't really follow the Cobb Award too closely. Not super closely, but I mean, it is a big deal, right? Because whoever wins the Cobb Award gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Would even have the home side of the field in the Crash Bowl if they got there. So, I mean, it is big. But, of course, looking more at division titles most times. But you see the Denver Mustangs only a point ahead of the Fort Worth Thunder coming into this game day. So they need every win that they can get. And just to think, if they were losing Fort Worth wins, I mean, it's the difference between getting a first-round bye and having to play in the wild card round. So as good of a season as Denver has had, they want to keep it going here. They could clinch the Cobb Award today, but it would take a few teams losing. The Las Vegas Scorpions are right on, well, not right on their tail, but a win for Denver would actually eliminate the Scorpions from the Cobb Award running, right? Would also probably eliminate the Detroit Turbos from the Cobb Award running as well, perhaps. I think at least if Detroit were to lose, and they would win. So we'll see how that all plays out, of course. But let's get a look at the lineups for this one as the Mustangs try to hang on to first place in the Car Demolition League. Of course, the win would do that for him. So let's see what Hunter Bradshaw brings to the table for him today.
Hi, this is Hunter Bradshaw, and this is my Denver Mustangs lineup.
Leading the way for Denver in this one, it's going to be Hammer Jr. at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it'll be Blue Dragon 2. He's been impressive as of late. At the captain spot for the Mustangs today, it's going to be Vendetta. And at 5-point gainer for Denver in this one, it'll be 47 Ronin. So there you have it, folks. The Denver Mustangs first place in the Car Demolition League right now and trying to hang on to that top spot, on the road ready to go. And now we take it to the home side of the field. Matt Geiser has his Phoenix Firebirds ready. Let's see what they will bring to the table here today.
Hi, I'm Matt Geiser, and this is a lineup for the Phoenix Firebirds.
Leading the way for the Firebirds in this one is going to be the rookie Hyper Caddy. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it will be Vancinade. At the captain spot for the Firebirds in this one, it'll be Purple Fusion. And that 5-point gainer for Phoenix today, it's going to be Green Arrow. So there you have it, folks. Both teams are ready. We'll get their back three off of the field. And we'll get set for this game to begin. So two teams with different things in mind as they look ahead to basically to August here, right? Or to the end of July. Of course, Phoenix, they know that they only got 2 games left here in 2026 to play, and of course the Denver Mustangs playoff spot clinch, but trying to clinch home field advantage here. So here we go, Hammer Jr. and the rookie Hyper Caddy leading things off. Game is out, both cars stay up on the first couple of collisions. Ooh! And you see that top kind of coming undone, and actually, as a matter of fact, going to be a timeout call by the Firebirds, because they want to get that fixed up quick. All right, folks, so we are back. Timeout taken, and Phoenix ready to go here. Still a scoreless game here. 0-0 on the board is Hyper Caddy ready to go now after the timeout taken. So here we go. Matchup continues. Hyper Caddy and Hammer Jr. And Hammer Jr.'s down, and Hyper Caddy puts the Firebirds out in front. 5-0 the score. Zed will now bring out Blue Dragon 2. He's been great as of late. Can he tie this game up? 5-0, they trail here. And Hyper Caddy and Blue Dragon 2 going at. Both cars staying up after a couple of collisions. Like I said, Phoenix has been hot as of late. It's just a little too late for him. And ooh, a barrel roll right there. That time, Blue Dragon 2 able to stay up and in it. And he's being put under pressure, though, as Hyper Caddy's getting some great chances. This matchup continues. Oh, and a good flip right there. But the front end has broken off of Hyper Caddy in the process. Hyper Caddy is still up and in this game, though, but he's going to have to go the rest of the game without a front end, as they've already used their one and only timeout of the game. But it is 10-0 Firebirds, folks. And the Mustangs, one flip away from facing a huge upset defeat here. 10-0 score. Hyper Caddy looking to put this one away. Vendetta trying to keep his team in the game. And Hyper Caddy has the flip donut served for dinner. Can you believe it? And maybe he won't put that front end back on, but the Firebirds have a huge win. Huge upset as they take down the first place team in the league. And now, folks, the first place spot in the league is going to be up for grabs. So the Fort Worth Thunder will have the chance when they take on the San Francisco Shinobis. They host the Shinobis. So the Fort Worth Thunder will have the chance to take over first place in the league in just a little bit. 15-0 is the final of this one as Vendetta goes down and Hyper Caddy, the rookie, goes through the front three of the Denver Mustangs. And this Phoenix team has just been so impressive as of late. Almost sad. It's kind of sad that they have no chance of making the playoffs. But they improved to 8-10, 0-1 on the year. And some bragging rights for Uncle Matt as he gets the win over Hunter Bradshaw's Denver Mustangs right there. Matt Geiser getting a huge win there. Of course, he needs his LA Blades to get a win as they are taking on his son's team, the Chicago Wind Attack. Shane Geiser's Chicago Wind Attack. So that's a huge matchup coming up later. But coming up next, we've got Lila Geysers, Montreal Monarques. They are going to be trying to clinch a playoff spot as they'll be hosting Candace Corey's Carolina Crash Cats when we return. Welcome back, Smash Heads. On to the next one we go, and what a way to start our second half off with a huge upset. The Phoenix Firebirds getting the win over the first place Denver Mustangs, a team eliminated from playoff contention, able to knock off the first place team in the league. We'll see if the Carolina Crash Cats can pull off a similar upset here in the Eastern Conference. Candace Corey's Carolina Crash Cats on the road to take on Lila Geysers, Montreal Monarques. Huge game for the Monarques right here. Of course, they are in playoff contention, but a win here today would clinch them a spot in the playoffs. So Montreal trying to punch their ticket to the 2026 playoffs here today. A record on the season of 10 wins, 5 regulation losses, no ties, and 3 overtime losses. So 10-5, 0-3. But they are on a 2-game losing streak themselves. Of course, Carolina, they've been in the midst of a tough stretch themselves. I believe it's now 4 losses in a row for Candace Corey's Carolina Crash Cats as they come to this game with a record of 7 wins and 11 losses. So trying to get the tail end of their season finishing strong here, as basically they've been, I don't want to say stepping stool, but in a way they've been the team that other teams clinch against. Mexico City clinched a playoff spot against them, as a matter of fact. And the week before Mexico City did it, who was it the week before Mexico City did it? It was San Francisco that did it. So in back-to-back weeks, teams clinching playoff spots against Carolina. Montreal basically trying to join the club here today. So trying to end that little sputter that they are in. So we'll see what happens. Of course, they do have a 3-point edge on New York and Boston, and right now it's really between them and Boston. Not sure about how the tiebreaker works out between those two teams right now, but like I said, Montreal could put it all to bed. As a matter of fact, they might only need a point here. They're currently at 33 points. I think actually, yeah, they only need a point. So an overtime loss or better would actually clinch them a spot here today. But of course, the Atlanta Avengers, them getting a win, put them to 35 points. Currently, Montreal's at 33, so fighting for the top wild card spot here too. So they do have a reason to try to get a win, no doubt. But I think I've rambled on long enough here. Let's get a look at the lineups for both sides. Starting on the visiting side with Candace Corey's Carolina Crash Cats. Leading the way for the Crash Cats today is going to be the rookie Malibu. Following them out there at the middleman spot, it will be Snowbat 2. At the captain spot for Carolina today, it's going to be Silver and Black Attack Jr. And at 5-point gainer for the Crash Cats in this one, it'll be Yellow Custom. So there you have it, folks. The Carolina Crash Cats ready to go on the visitor side. And now we take it to the home side of the field where we've got Lila Geysers, Montreal Monarques. Let's see what they bring to the table today.
Hi, I'm Lila Geyser, and this is my lineup for the Montreal Monarques.
Leading the way for Les Monarques in this one, it's going to be Bebop at the front runner spot.
On your knees, dog.
Following him out there at the middleman spot, it's going to be the rookie Bayron. At the captain spot for Montreal today, it's going to be 46 Jr. And at 5-point gainer for Les Monarques in this one, it's going to be Red Dead. So there you have it, folks. Both teams set and ready to go. They'll get their back 3 off of the field as a lot of smash mouth offense on that front 3 for Montreal with Bayron and 46 Jr. But of course, Montreal did notice that Carolina did struggle with rocket power models, and that's what they lead off with. It's Bebop leading the way for Les Monarques today. Of course, going out there against the rookie Malibu. So here we go. Game is on. Both cars stay up. So we know both these cars can play the defensive side of the game. Is that time we see a mesh break. Bebop going to the mesh. Still scoreless. Matchup continuing. And again, same situation. Bebop using the mesh. Malibu got the post right there, but that being said, still in the game. Matchup continuing again. Malibu again staying up, sends Bebop to the mesh. And the match continues, and I think we got a good flip right here. Because I don't think that he is touching. Now, he is on the edge. He's close to an edge break, folks. But we can see over here, Malibu is still in the game. He's on the field. He's still in play. And there's just the little tiniest bit of space here in between Bebop and the table. Yes. And folks, we do have a good flip right there. Bebop is down. Carolina takes the lead. 5-0 the score, as that will now bring out Veyron for the Montreal Monarques. 5-0 the score, as Carolina's on top, looking for more. The rookie Veyron coming out. So 2 rookies going head-to-head here, make it a 10-0 game. Carolina hopping all over them. 10-0 the score, as they look for the upset here today on the road against Montreal. 1 flip away from getting it, as that now brings out 46 Jr. for the Monarques, trying to get him back in this game. They trail 10-0. Volcar stay up right there, so they go at it again. And this time, 46 Jr. has the flip that keeps Montreal in it. Malibu goes down, but an impressive outing for him. A 2-1 day for the rookie Malibu. Just couldn't find that finishing touch. 10-5 the score, and now Snowbat 2. He'll look for the game-winning flip, as 46 Jr. will try to tie it. And it's going to be done like dinner right there. 15-5 will be the final. And the Carolina Crash Cats have the win on the road over the Montreal Monarques here today. Huge victory, 15-5, as it's all said and done. And Montreal right there will fall to 10-6-0-3. You know, Boston currently at 9-7-0-3, so those 2 teams could end up tied. So, folks, I'm going to go on ahead and take a look at the tiebreaker real quick right here. Alright folks, so I paused the video for a little bit basically, and I went on ahead and I looked it up just to see, because basically the tiebreaker for Montreal now came down between them and the Boston Vandals at this point. They got to have the spot clinched from the Vandals. Now, of course, Philadelphia can only get up to 32 points. Of course, Montreal has 33. So it all came down to this one, right? Does Montreal at least have the tiebreaker with Boston taking the loss that they took? Well, the 2 teams, Boston and Montreal, they met in week 1. Boston won that game 15-5, but Northeast Divisional rivals as they are, they would meet again in week 9, and Montreal won that game 15-0. So, with that being said, folks, yes, Candace Corey and the Carolina Crash Cats did win this game today, 15-5 the final score. But because Montreal has the tiebreaker over Boston, Lila Geyser's Montreal Monarques, it's official, they got a golden ticket. Les Monarques are indeed playoff bound. Even though they lost today, the suspense that was built there, I should have really checked that tiebreaker before the game even began. Let's just be honest, that's my fault. But that being said, Montreal fans, you can stop sweating. Your team is going to the playoffs, but they give up 3rd place in the standings. The Atlanta Avengers do move past them into 3rd place, while Montreal will be in 4th. And actually, it's the Toronto Titans currently in 5th, with the New York Empire in 6th place. And in a short while, as a matter of fact, coming up next, the Philadelphia Demons, they are going to try to tighten the gap between themselves in 8th place and all these teams that are ahead of them, as they'll be on the road to take on the Buffalo Warriors when we return. So, folks, Stay tuned. Welcome back, Smash Heads. On to the next game on tap we go. This matchup going to put us halfway through today's action and 3/4 of the total way through Week 19 here. And make no mistake about it, the Buffalo Warriors, they might be playing for pride and nothing else, but the Philadelphia Demons on the road, their season is on the line right here and now. Tim Geiser's Philadelphia Demons with a record of 8 wins, 8 losses, no ties, and 2 overtime losses on the road take on the Buffalo Warriors, who have a record of 4 wins, 10 losses, no ties, and 4 overtime losses. Of course, Philadelphia definitely favored to win this game, but hey, you know what? We saw the Miami Brawlers get a win over the New York Empire earlier, so needless to say, folks, anything is possible. The Philadelphia Demons, though, they need this game. Either a win or a tie would keep them in the playoff hunt, but they would be eliminated from contention with either an overtime loss or a regulation loss. So this game right here, a game that the Demons cannot afford to lose. Their season on the line here in this game. It's basically a playoff game for Philly, just like it was last week, though, to be quite honest. So another must-win scenario for this Demons team. Of course, the Buffalo Warriors used to be in the same division with Philly back in the day. Former Northeast Division rivals. Of course, now they're in the Atlantic and the Northeast respectively. But that being said, still a little hint of that rivalry probably still does exist. So, of course, Buffalo looking to play spoiler against the Demons here. So, what else could be said? Huge game on tap. Let's get a look at the lineups. We start on the visiting side with Tim Geiser's Philadelphia Demons.
Hi, this is Tim Geiser, owner of your Philadelphia Demons. This is the line.
Leading the way for the Demons today is going to be Pink Indy Jr. at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it's going to be Silver Dog. At the captain spot for Philadelphia today is going to be Silver Molina. And at 5-point gainer for the Demons here in this one, it will be Mazda. So there you have it, the Philadelphia Demons on the road to take on the Buffalo Warriors. And speaking of those Warriors, league-operated team, let's go to the home side of the field and get a look at their lineup for the day. Leading the way for the Warriors in this one, it's going to be El Rey at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it'll be Red Spectite. Coming off a perfect 3-0 day in his last game, it's Tyrell at the captain spot for the Warriors today. And at 5-point gainer for Buffalo in this one, it's going to be Babbitt. So there you have it, folks. Both teams are ready to go. Of course, we saw Silver Molina. He went 3-0 from the front runner spot last week to keep Philly's playoff hopes alive. And Tyrell, well, he had a perfect game last week, as a matter of fact. Buffalo with a huge win in the week 18 outing that they had on the road against Toronto, and Tyrell was perfect. 3 flips off of 3 collisions. That is a perfect game, and that's exactly what he did. But that being said, it's El Rey and Pink Indy Jr. leading things off here today. So here we go. Game is on. Both cars stay up on the opening collision. They'll go at it again. And again, both cars. Good spin cycle to keep themselves in. And again, that's the same result. And that time we had a bad roll. So they'll reset. So after the bad roll, both cars reset. They'll keep going at it. Still a scoreless game. And again, still scoreless. It's both cars hang on. And now we got our first 5 points. And they go the Demons' way. Pink Indy Jr. takes down El Rey. 5-0 Philly. So now that will bring out Red Spectite for the Buffalo Warriors. They trail 5-0. Demons looking to increase this lead. Their season on the line. As the game continues here, both these teams going at, make it 10-0 just like that. Red Spectite down, and the Demons are looking good right now. 10-0 the score. They are on top. Tim Geiser already clinched the Pacific Division with his Las Vegas Scorpions in the first half of the week, and now trying to keep the Philadelphia Demons, try to keep their season alive, but they are now going up against a car that had a perfect game against Toronto last week. Of course, we're talking about Tyrell for the Warriors, trying to keep his team alive. 10-0 the score. All he needs is a tie collision for the win. Can Pinckney Jr. do that or better? Both cars stay up on their first collision. They'll go at it again. Donuts served for dinner. And for the second straight week, Philly goes to the bakery and Tim Geyser keeps Philly's season alive yet again. It's gonna come down to the wire for the Demons. Holy smokes. 15-0 the final. The script gets flipped on Buffalo, who was able to get a shutout last week. Not so much this week as Philly reigns supreme, dropping the cheesesteak on them. Why not? And the Demons, with that win right there, they improved to 9-8-0-3 on the season, folks. So that's 29 points in total. So Philly will head into week 20 just 1 point back of a playoff spot. And just to think, a couple of weeks ago, they were 9 points back of that final playoff spot. Comeback of a lifetime. Could it happen? We can only wonder, right? Of course, right now the Boston Vandals sitting in 7th place at 30 points. The New York Empire at 10-9. They've got 30 points themselves, hanging on that 6th spot. And let's not forget the Toronto Titans. They are 2 points ahead of Philly with 31 points, sitting in that 5th place spot. So the Demons could potentially move themselves all the way up into the 5th seed by the season's end. And in case you're wondering how things are looking for next week and who's playing who, the Demons next week will be home against the Miami Brawlers, the last place team in the league that was able to beat the New York Empire, right? Can Philly get a win against them? I mean, we saw what they were able to do to New York, so there's that. The New York Empire are going to be home against the Montreal Monarques. Not exactly an easy game for New York right there, but both of those teams are in a skid right now. Both Montreal and New York have been kind of in losing streaks as of late, so that could be up in the air right there. But of course, the big game, the huge matchup, the Toronto Titans on the road against the Boston Vandals. Folks, that one is mega huge because the loser of that game might be eliminated from the playoffs altogether. Boston right now on the outside looking in, and Toronto trying to hang on to that spot. That game basically becomes prime time importance right there, because if Philly gets a win next week, let's just say Philly beats Miami, they would basically pass either Boston or Toronto. Whoever would lose that game, they're going to probably move past in the standings. So just goes to show you how big of importance that matchup has now become. So what a game to say the least. Tim Geyser's Philadelphia Demons making the comeback of a lifetime. Could they get it done in week 20 is the question. Or could we see Hunter Bradshaw maybe get back ahead of Toronto? Or will the league-operated Titans hang on? Only time's going to tell. Of course, the New York Empire, we wonder about them with the losing streak they're on. They're currently the 6th seed right now. Can they hang on when they play against Montreal? Oh, let me put it this way. Tim and Hunter are both going to be rooting for... They're both going to be rooting for Grandma Lila next week. Let's put it that way. Get the Kamagamma is going to be their chant. Let's put it like that. But nonetheless, we got plenty more action still to come here today. The Fort Worth Thunder home to take on Lila Geyser's San Francisco Shinobis, actually, when we return. Welcome back, Smash Heads. Onwards we move with Week 19. Just 3 games left in the week, and the next one is a big one as we got first place in the Car Demolition League on the line right here. The Fort Worth Thunder have a chance to take the lead in the Central Division back from the Denver Mustangs. Of course, the Mustangs taking a huge upset loss to the Phoenix Firebirds. They fell to 15-3, 0-1 today, coming into this game with the record of 15-3, or should I say 15-3, 0-0, right? The Fort Worth Thunder looking to get their 16th win of the season today, trying to get back to the top of the CDL table. in their hunt for the Cobb Award. Of course, their opponents are trying to get home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Lila Geysers, San Francisco Shinobis, 12 wins, 5 losses, no ties, and 1 overtime loss, trying to take advantage of the fact that Mexico City took a loss to Las Vegas. Of course, with Vegas getting the win, the Shinobis eliminated from winning the Pacific Division title, so eliminated from the division title hunt altogether. So the best that they can do is play for that top wild card spot. Now, even if they won out, they would not be able to catch who would ever be in that 3 seed. So the 4th seed is basically the ceiling for the San Francisco Shinobis, and they could get to the 4th seed right here today with a win, and then it'd be all on next week as to whether they could keep it or not. So huge game for San Francisco right here, huge game for Fort Worth. And folks, I gotta say it, this matchup right here has the potential to quite possibly be the Western Conference Final. Only time will tell if it actually is, but we definitely have a matchup that looks really great on paper, so let's get down to it. The lineup, starting on the visiting side, it's Lila Geysers, San Francisco Shinobis. Let's see what they bring to the table today.
Hi, I'm Lila Geyser, and this is my lineup for the San Francisco Shinobis.
Leading the way for the Shinobis in this one, it's going to be Monty at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it'll be Black Bullet 1. At the captain spot for San Francisco, it's going to be Rocket Power 2. And at 5-point gainer for the Shinobis here today, it's going to be Spec Type Jr. So there you have it, folks. On the visiting side, Lila Geyser Shinobis ready to go. And now that takes us to the home side of the field. It's Ricky Riffenbach's Fort Worth Thunder. Let's see what they bring to the table here today.
Hi, I'm Ricky Riffenbach, and here's the lineup for my Fort Worth Thunder.
Leading the way for the Thunder in this one, it's going to be Black Lena at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot today, it's going to be Purple Fighter. At the captain spot for the Thunder here in this one, it's going to be an MVP candidate, Blue Tech. And at 5-point gainer for Fort Worth today, it's going to be the rookie Orange Stock. So there you have it, folks. Both teams set and ready to go. We'll get their back 3 off of the field here. And what else can be said? Fort Worth trying to get themselves back up in the first place in the entire league, and can certainly do that with a win right here. Of course, the Shinobis trying to get themselves into 4th place in the Western Conference. Huge game. It's the potential to be a Western Conference final, perhaps. Of course, only time will tell, but we got this game right here and right now. Black Lena and Monty leading us off. Game is on, and oh, what a chance. Monty almost had him. Black Lena stays in it, but can't do it again. Make it 5-0 Shinobis. Of course, Lila Geyser took a tough loss with the Montreal Monarques, even though they still clinched a playoff spot today, thanks to Boston's loss. So, and of course, that was in the first half. I didn't know it at the time when Boston lost, but yeah, Montreal had the tiebreaker on them, so that clinched Les Monarques the spot. But nonetheless, 5-0 the score right here, and it's put on Purple Fire, who had the game-winning flip last week. Can he have another solid day here today? His team trails, and both cars are going to be down. Make it 10-5 as both Monty and Purple Fire take each other out. So now, folks, enter the next 2 cars. From the middleman spot for San Francisco, trying to get the win here, it's Black Bullet 1. And out here for the Thunder, a car that's definitely in the running for CDL MVP right now, Blue Tech for the Fort Worth Thunder. It's 10-5 San Francisco. Shinobis looking to put it away. Blue Tech trying to tie it up here, and right to the mesh goes Black Bullet 1. They'll switch sides, and they'll go at it again. Both cars staying up and keeping opposite sides. Battle continues. Oh, able to stay up was Black Bullet 1 right there. Unbelievable move as he keeps himself in the game. Good breakdance maneuver by Black Bullet 1. And Black Bullet 1 has the game winner right there. And the Denver Mustangs can breathe a sigh of relief as both Denver and Fort Worth fall today. 15-5 is the final of this one. And the San Francisco Shinobis have the win on the road over the Fort Worth Thunder. Huge win for San Francisco right there, as they will move ahead of the Mexico City Jaguars into 4th place in the Western Conference, as they will head into Week 20. And in case you're wondering about next week of who plays who, San Francisco is actually going to be on the road against Kansas City. Very winnable game for the Shinobis right there. And as for Mexico City, they will be on the road against the Los Angeles Blades. So a tough game ahead there for Mexico City. Of course, LA in the midst of that playoff battle right now. As a matter of fact, they're going to be on the field next, trying to hang on to the 6th seed, as they'll be on the road against Shane Geyser's Chicago Wind Attack. And of course, the Wind Attack, they need a win to basically keep their season alive. So we're going to see how that all plays out. And you know, I'm just looking at these points right now. I know that Denver's still at 46 points. Fort Worth's still at 45. And, you know, the Detroit Turbos, they are in that Cobb Award hunt. And they are going to have a chance to actually tie Denver for the top spot in the league. So to tie them up for first place in the entire league, if they could get a win on the road against Tampa Bay in our main event today. So that race for the Cobb Award could significantly tighten by the end of this game day. So huge stuff right there. I mean, unbelievable. Of course, we'll show you the up-to-date standings when that time comes. But it's the Blades and the Wind Attack, folks, when we return. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Smash Heads. Onwards to the next game on tap we go. And you know, we already seen one team face elimination here today with the Philadelphia Demons able to keep their season alive. And now we can only wonder if the Chicago Wind Attack can do the same. Shane Geyser's Wind Attack here on home turf. They need a win today. Nothing else will do. A tie or a loss would eliminate them from playoff contention, as he gets set to take on his father's team, Matt Geyser's Los Angeles Blades. Of course, the Blades right now hanging on to that final playoff spot in the West, but San Diego did get a win. So simply put, the Blades need at least a point here today. They need at least a point here today to hang on to that 6th seed heading into Week 20. Let's get a look at the points, right? I mean, it's the LA Blades currently with 28 points, a record of 9-8-0-1. The San Diego Lightning at 9-9-0-1 also have 28 points. And then you have the Chicago Wind Attack, who currently have a record of 7-9-0-2. That currently puts them at 23 points. Needless to say, they need a win here today. If they could get the 26 points and keep LA at 29 points, they would be 3 points behind, and they would still have a shot in Week 20. Like I said, they just need to find a way to get a win here to keep their season alive. And the Blades, of course, with the win, they can make it a 3-point gap over San Diego heading into Week 20. And also they could eliminate Chicago and get them off their tail. So a big game right here. This is basically a playoff game, in short, as Chicago tries to keep their season alive. And, of course, the Blades are trying to hang on to that final playoff spot in the West right now. And, of course, San Diego, you know that they are rooting for Chicago right here. And they want it to be done in regulation, because if Chicago could win this game in regulation, that would put San Diego into the 6th seed and move them past LA, because the Lightning have the tiebreaker over the Blades. So this game is definitely huge. So what else can be said? Let's get a look at the lineups for both sides. Starting on the visiting side with Matt Geyser's Los Angeles Blades.
Hi, I'm Matt Geyser, and this is the lineup for Los Angeles Blades.
Leading the way for the Blades today, it's going to be Lancia at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it's going to be Ratatouille Jr. At the captain spot for Los Angeles today, it's going to be Power Piston. And at 5-point gainer for the Blades here in this one, it's going to be Padawan. So there you have it, folks. Matt Geyser's Los Angeles Blades on the visiting side, ready to go and taking on his son's team today, Shane Geyser's Chicago Wind Attack. Let's go on ahead and see what they bring to the table here today.
Hi, I'm Shane Geyser, and this is the lineup for my Chicago Wind Attack.
Leading the way for the Wind Attack in this one, it's going to be the rookie Hyper P. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it's going to be Hot Indy. At the captain spot for Chicago today, it's going to be Blue Dragon. And at 5-point gainer today for the Wind Attack, it will be Mirror. So here we go, folks. Both teams set and ready to go. Lancia, playing for the Blades now, used to be a player for the Chicago Wind Attack under Jim Hull Sr.'s command back in the day. Not too long ago, right? Just a few years ago, as a matter of fact. But here we go. Lancia and Hyper P leading us off here. Now he looks to be the team that basically looks to be the car that dashes his former team's hopes here. So here we go. Game is on, and Hyper P says, nope, not going to let that happen. He takes down Lancia right away. 5-0 Windy City. And that now brings out Ratitude Jr. for the Blades. Ratitude Jr. trying to tie it up. Hyper P, the rookie, looking to go up 10-0 here. And both cars stay up right there. He kind of grabbed there, but did get enough of that roll. And he got enough of that roll right there. Make it a 10-0 game. And the Wind Attack are a flip away from a shutout. And Shane Geyser, owner of the Miami Brawlers as well, he has not been able to say that he has had a 2-0 game day. I don't think if he's even been able to say it once this year. One flip away from being able to say that right now. 10-0 the score. Chicago in the lead, looking to get a flip that would keep their season alive for at least another week. Can they get it right here? Power Pistons. He's one of those cars that's also an MVP candidate in his own right. Trying to keep the Blades alive here in this game. And both cars stay up right there, close to the edge. As a matter of fact, one car was on the edge. That time, Hyper P just barely able to stay in it. And this time, Hyper P is down and the Blades are fighting back. So, Hyper P, a good day for the rookie. He goes 2-1, but couldn't get the finishing touch as that now comes to Hot Indy. Hot Indy looking to put this game away. 10-5 is the score. Wind Attack leading the Blades. Power Pistons trying to tie it. Hot Indy going for the win. And Hot Indy's going to be down just like that. So make it a 10-10 game in Power Pistons. He's done it so many times this season. Led his team from the captain spot when no one helping him, and now he's doing it here. 10-10. That 10-0 lead for Chicago has dissolved. But Blue Dragon, can he be big in this moment right here and now as he takes on Power Pistons? Game tied at 10. Huge matchup right here. The two captains out there going at it. Looking for that big 15-10 lead. So huge right here. So whoever could get it would have that advantage and try to go for the win against the next car to come out. And that time, Blue Dragon on the edge, but hands on. Both cars again staying up. Matchup continuing, and what a battle we got right here. Power Pistons and Blue Dragon putting on a show. Power Pistons has a flip, and the Blades take the lead. And folks, that's the point that the Blades need right now to keep themselves at the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Of course, they would like to make it a 3-point gap and eliminate the Wind Attack from playoff contention. They could do that right here. Power Pistons could complete the Captain's Day, of course. It's going to be Mirror trying to force overtime. 15-10 is the score. The Blades in the lead now as that brings out Mirror. Mirror trying to force OT. Both cars stay up there. Game on the line. Season on the line for the Wind Attack right here. They can't afford to lose this one. Mirror needs to stay up and win this battle for Chicago to have a chance, and it's not going to happen. Mirror is down right there, and this one is over. 15-10 will be the final, and the Los Angeles Blades have the win that will eliminate the Chicago Wind Attack from playoff contention. 15-10 final score, and Matt Geyser's Los Angeles Blades hang on to 6th place in the Western Conference, and yes, they keep the 3-point gap over the San Diego Lightning, and so crucial going into week 20 now. With that 3-point gap, that means that the LA Blades need only an overtime loss against Mexico City. Just 1 point more in the standings would clinch the spot for them. They need either an overtime loss or better, or they would need San Diego to get a tie against San Antonio or worse, right? So either a San Antonio loss or tie would also clinch the Blades a spot. So things to think about as we basically look ahead at what will be in week 20. But the Blades hang on, and the Wind Attack, unfortunately for them, get eliminated here today. And a Captain's Day for Power Pistons here for the Blades. I tell you what, man, they were down 10-0, but this car comes through again. A 4-0 Captain's Day, and Power Pistons pretty much showing you why he's probably going to be on that Western Conference All-Star team as we head into mid to late July, right? So showing you why right there, no doubt about it. That being said, folks, we got one more game on tap. The top two teams in the Eastern Conference are about to go head-to-head. The first place Detroit Turbos on the road to take on the second place Tampa Bay Gators, Northeast Division champs versus the Atlantic Division champs when we return. Welcome back, Smash Heads. It is finally time. Our Week 19 main event is here, and we've got the two best teams in the Eastern Conference about to go head-to-head. The two teams that have already clinched a first-round bye in the playoffs. The defending world champions, Brandon Kuma's Tampa Bay Gators, currently second place in the Eastern Conference, a record of 13 wins and 5 regulation losses. 2026 Atlantic Division champions set to host the Detroit Turbos. 14 wins, 3 losses in regulation, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. 2026 Northeast Division champions currently have a 4-point lead over the Tampa Bay Gators in the standings and trying to widen it here today. As a matter of fact, with a win or a tie here today, the Detroit Turbos would actually clinch the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. But more so than that, with a win here today, the Detroit Turbos would take over first place in the Car Demolition League. And you say, well, the most that they'd be able to do is tie Denver. Of course, the Denver Mustangs fell to 15-3-0-1. And of course, that's exactly where Detroit would be with the win. But head-to-head between Denver and Detroit, even though the two teams never did play against each other this year, right? The Detroit Turbos have done better in conference, right, than the Denver Mustangs have. So that is the current format right now, or the current tiebreaker between the two teams, because the teams did not go head-to-head this season. So we go by in-conference, well, first divisional record and then in-conference record. And when you go by in-conference, folks, the Detroit Turbos do have the edge over the Denver Mustangs. So a win here today would put them to the top spot in the league and in the number 1 spot on that leaderboard for the Cobb Award. So something to certainly think about. So I think Hunter Bradshaw, for the first time ever in his career, is actually rooting for Brandon Kuma to win a game in this particular circumstance. Of course, the Tampa Bay Gators, they can still clinch the number 1 seed in the East. They need a win here today, basically, in order to do that, right? They would need to get a win here today to make that happen, to take the top spot in the East, because they would need a win here today, and they probably need a win next week as well, along with another Detroit loss, right? And that would be next week. Of course, the Turbos got to play against the Buffalo Warriors next week, so needless to say, it is where it is. But the Tampa Bay Gators already eliminated from winning the Cobb Award, so which would mean eliminated from taking the top seed in the league overall. But that being said, though, folks, should be a fantastic matchup, to say the least, as these two division champions go head-to-head. No doubt this could certainly be our 2026 Eastern Conference Final, and why not? It was our 2024 Eastern Conference Final, and if you remember that one, the Tampa Bay Gators won that game in overtime. So certainly a treat when these two teams go head-to-head. Let's find out what happens. Gotta get a look at the lineup. So we start on the division side with the team that's currently holding down first place in the East, the league-operated Detroit Turbos. Let's see what they bring to the table today. Leading the way for the Turbos in this one, it's going to be V-Dub at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it will be Spec-Type. At the captain spot for Detroit today, it's going to be Green Fusion. And that 5-point gainer for the Turbos here in this one, it will be Snowbat. So there you have it, folks. The Detroit Turbos Northeast Division champs on the road and ready to go. And now we take it to the home side of the field. The defending world champions, Brandon Kuma's 2026 Atlantic Division champions, the Tampa Bay Gators. Let's see what they bring to the table today.
Hi, my name is Brandon Kuma, and here's my lineup for my Tampa Bay Gators.
Leading the way for the Gators in this one is going to be Ratified at the front runner spot. Following him out there at the middleman spot, it's going to be R. At the captain spot here today for the Gators, it's going to be Rocket Power. And at 5-point gainer for Tampa Bay here in this one, it will be Night Track. So there you have it, folks. Both teams set and ready to go. We'll get their back three off of the field, and we should have a great main event about to be underway as we get this Week 19 in the books. And just to think, after this game, just 1 week of regular season remaining. So here we go. V-Dub and Ratified leading us off. Game is on, and Ratified has a flip that comes quicker than a pancake at a Waffle House. 5-0 Tampa Bay. So V-Dub goes down, and Ratified looked good right there as he now takes on Spec-Type from the Detroit side. 5-0 Gators in the lead. Looking to increase the lead. Both cars stay up right there. Spec-Type and Ratified going at it. Both cars again staying up. And make it a 5-5 game as Spec-Type evens it up here. Ratified is down. So all even as that now brings out R for the Gators. Game all knotted here. R and Spec-Type now going at it, and both cars staying up right there. Ooh, Spec-Type caught the rubber right there. Caught the mat just right. Almost found himself going over, but able to stay up and in the game. And ooh, a big shot right there by R. Hands on. And so R got hit hard there and gets hit hard again. Gets taken off his wheels. And that time, both cars looking a little unstable. And, whoa, do a barrel roll, and Spec-Type gets a flip to boot. What a move by Spec-Type, and the Turbos take the lead. 10-5 the score as R goes down. And you see the instant replay there. What a move by Spec-Type to get that lead for the Detroit Turbos here. And they are one flip away from the win, as that now brings out Rocket Power for the Gators. 10-5 the score. Turbos on top, looking to get the flip that would clinch them the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference right here and now. But not going to happen just like that, Cracker Jack. 10-10 the score as Rocket Power quickly takes down Spec-Type. And now we got two really good cars about to go head-to-head. Yes, go on ahead and say it. MVP candidates perhaps, maybe in the best of show running for the conference. Green Fusion out here now for the Detroit Turbos to take on Rocket Power from the Gators. Game tied at 10. Here we go, and both cars go at it, and both cars stay up. They go at it again, another chance, and again both cars able to hang on. And the chance is going both ways to this point. Oh, do a barrel roll. Green Fusion was able to hang in there and stay in this game as they keep going at it. Both cars still staying up to this point. Still battling as the matchup continues here. What a match between these two. And Green Fusion's going to be down right there, and Rocket Power gives the Gators the lead. So back and forth, this game goes like a pendulum here. And now it's Tampa Bay on top, looking to basically shrink that gap in the Eastern Conference from 4 points to 1 point. They could do it right here. 15-10, the Gators on top, looking for the win. Of course, Snowbat trying to force overtime for the Turbos, and both cars stay up right there. They'll go at it again. As we saw a mesh break for Rocket Power the first time, and the second time came close, but good spin cycle right there for Snowbat. Matchup continuing, and again, Rocket Power using the mesh breaks. He's been good at that all year, using those mesh breaks to his advantage, getting into the safe spots. Of course, getting chance after chance until that point, and this one is over. The Gators have the win here on home turf, and this one is big. Final score of the game, 15-10. The Tampa Bay Gators take down the Detroit Turbos, and what a huge win for Tampa Bay, as the Eastern Conference gap for the number 1 seed has now been shrunken down to a 1-point battle. Of course, with a record of 14-4-0-1. I mean, the Detroit Turbos currently at 43 points in the standings, but right there behind them now with the record of 14-5 are the Tampa Bay Gators with 42 points. And yes, the top seed in the Eastern Conference will be on the line in Week 20. And in case you wonder who's playing who, the Detroit Turbos, they need only get a win to hang on to that top seed. They'll be hosting the Buffalo Warriors. Has to be like a should-win game for them. Of course, it's always should-win that you have a hard time winning sometimes, right? The Tampa Bay Gators know all about that with the fights that they had against Seattle recently. And then who was it before Seattle that gave Tampa Bay a really tough fight? It was Seattle and it was Miami who took Tampa Bay into overtime. Of course, the Gators still found a way to win, but it certainly won't be easy. Tampa Bay home against the Atlanta Avengers in Week 20. Certainly not a gimme of a game right there, as you just saw the Avengers clinch the playoff spot here in Week 19, getting their win in the first day feature over the Boston Vandals. But huge win for Tampa Bay right here to keep themselves in the running for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Tough loss for Detroit as they stay at 43 points. 3 points behind the Denver Mustangs for the top spot in the league. So they are still in the hunt for the top spot in the league. But now all the Mustangs would need is an overtime loss to basically get to get Detroit off their tail. But of course they can't settle for that because, hey, the Fort Worth Thunder are only a point behind them in the standings. So really looking like a 3-team race right there. But of course, we know Las Vegas, they're right there in it too. 14-3-0-2, so that has them at 44 points right now. So Las Vegas has themselves really close. So let's get a look at those Cobb Award standings right now. Why not? As we get set to go to the credits here. But yeah, that's how close it is, folks. But anyways, that being said, I'm James Holst Jr., thanking you so much for watching. I'm the owner and creator of the Car Demolition League. I created the game of Table Derby. Hopefully you enjoy what you see. Come back and watch more of it, or hey, start a league yourself. Play the game yourself with some toy cars of your own. Definitely is cool, and at least I think it is, and I think it's fun. So maybe you'll have fun doing it as well. But that being said, folks, thank you so much for watching. I certainly appreciate any support that we get here in the Car Demolition League. It's always appreciated. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you for Week 20 when we bring our 2026 regular season to a close here in the Car Demolition League. Huge matchups on taps. Los Angeles and Mexico City. Las Vegas taking on Fort Worth. The list goes on. Toronto and Boston, that's going to be a huge one. Of course, we're going to have it all in the credits. We're going to give you the whole rundown, the order in which the matches will happen, what our first day feature will be, what our main event will be, and of course, our up-to-date standings at the very end. So until Week 20, until next week, much love, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and as always, folks, God bless and peace.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that old Chinese eye.